It's got to be real.
Yes guys, what's up? So there's a strong chance right about now that Amir Khan won't be getting Manny Pacquiao. Now if I'm correct, it's been around about, we're looking at about something in between, I don't know, 5 to 7 months since we've seen Amir Khan back in the ring. I'm not quite sure of the date that he fought Chris Algieri, but it was quite early on in the year. So by the time Amir Khan faces another opponent, he's talking April time right now. So we're looking at Christmas, end of December. We're looking at January, February, March, April. That's another 4 months. So Amir Khan will have been out of the ring for a year. Now, obviously, tons of respect to Amir and whatnot, but I mean, in terms of Amir Khan's career, I really think that it's hurting his career, and I don't think that he's taken the adequate right steps in terms of his career of recent. I've said this in the past. As everyone knows, I'm a huge supporter of Amir Khan. I like Amir. He's a cool cat. I've got a lot of respect for him. But when we're talking boxing, and I've got to cut it straight down the middle because obviously, I've got to keep it real. I call it Be Real TV, and the truth of the matter is, Amir Khan has not. He hasn't done himself justice and put himself in a good position. I mean, if Amir Khan doesn't get Manny Pacquiao, if he gets Pacquiao, brilliant, yeah. But he has taken a massive gamble. First, he was trying to take on Floyd. Floyd didn't want to fight him. For whatever reason, Floyd did not want to fight Amir Khan. Okay? Floyd, things finished. He moved on to Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao now, it's looking like Timothy Bradley 3. And often in boxing, when we hear rumours, a lot of the time it turns out to be true. And it actually goes ahead. But the chances are Amir Khan's not going to get Pacquiao, and Timothy Bradley will probably get Pacquiao, but that's for another video. Now Amir Khan's mentioning Kell Brook's name. And the reason he's mentioning Kell Brook is because of this. And we're going to talk about Kell Brook in another separate video. But the reason he's talking about Kell Brook is because there's nobody else left for him in the 147-pound division to fight. Chances are Keith Thurman and Sean Porter will go through. Irrespective of what's going on with the money, etc., with Keith Thurman and Sean Porter, it's very likely that fight's going to go through with Sean Porter and Keith Thurman. There's no reason why it shouldn't happen. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of speculation. I think it will happen. As soon as Sean Porter and Keith Thurman are taken off the market, Danny Garcia and Robert Guerrero are also taken off the market. That's 4 big names in the 147-pound division under the Al Haymon banner that have now disappeared. We can forget about Pacquiao and Bradley and all them 147-pounders because they're with Top Rank. Okay? So if you can't make the Pacquiao fight, you're not going to make a Bradley fight. Besides, Bradley, he has a mandatory situation going on for the WBO title with Saddam Ali, and he might just duck that. And there's every chance in the book that he won't get stripped of that title if he chooses Pacquiao over Saddam Ali. But that's again for another video. Now, Amir Khan, where does that leave him? It leaves him in a really bad situation because, you see, he's used up all his trump cards, if you will. There was Chris Algieri, he's already faced him. Devin Alexander, he's already faced him. See, them guys, Amir Khan can't fight again. Luis Collazo, he can't fight that sort of fighter. That caliber of fighter right now for Amir would be very hazardous to his star power in boxing. It would damage him in terms of his star power. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that Amir Khan has fought some brilliant fighters in the past. And you can criticise all you want, but the fact of the matter is, if you look at the name on Amir Khan's resume, they are some strong names. You know? Like, people don't give Kell Brook any sort of hate, like, really, as much as they give to Amir Khan. But if you look at Khan's resume, it's strong, it's solid, it's really solid. You can go through name after name after name, and you'll recognise several names on there. But, of recent, I mean, Luis Collazo was a good name, in my opinion. I think it was a good fight. Luis Collazo showed what type of fighter he is, but it's good, it's not brilliant. Again, Devin Alexander, good, but not brilliant. But at the time Amir Khan faced him, he was still a pretty good fighter. He lost to Sean Porter, but apart from that, Devin Alexander was still solid. Then Chris Algieri, that wasn't so solid. I mean, you can't look at it always like, what did they do after? You've got to look at it at the time when they fought them. What were they like? You know, Luis Collazo was coming off the knockout win against Victor Ortiz. Dangerous fight for Amir at 147 because Collazo just popped out of nowhere. He's had a history of, you know, good fights, and Amir fought him. I mean, then you've got the likes of, you know, when he faced Alexander, it still looked solid. Lost with Porter, but still a good fighter, Devin Alexander was. And then Chris Algieri at the time wasn't looking so good, and it was heavily criticised that why is Amir Khan facing Chris Algieri coming off the loss against Pacquiao, etc., etc. Yes, he'd beaten Ruslan Provodnikov, but, you know, at the time it didn't look good. Now, for Amir Khan to face a no-namer, I'm not even going to go into the 147-pound division no-namer list. But, I mean, all the names in 147-pound. Berto he's not going to fight because Berto's in the same camp. Josecito Lopez is a name that's drifting. Maybe, I don't know, maybe might have to fight him. But, I mean, if you're having to look at them type of guys, I mean, he's going to get... Oh, Amir Khan's fighting that sort of caliber fighter, you know? So that's why Amir Khan's looking at April, in my opinion, because there's no other fighter available at the moment. And if he takes that sort of level of a name, it hurts him. And he's put himself, you know, his team, himself, his manager, Al Heyman, I don't know who it is, but Amir Khan, currently career-wise, has put himself in a tremendously bad position where, over the past few years, he's faced three names in Luis Collazo, Devin Alexander, and Chris Algieri, and that's taken him a few years. I don't know if it's 2 years, I don't know if it's 3, but, I mean, they're the names that we're looking at. After Danny Garcia, there was Carlos Molina, Julio Diaz, Luis Collazo, Devin Alexander, Chris Algieri. 5 fighters that he's faced. I mean, if he had to, he could have faced all of them fighters in 1 year. So to do that over a period of several years, I mean, how long ago was Danny Garcia lost? Since the Danny Garcia loss, I mean, that seems like forever. And there's only been 5 fights since against not pay-per-view fighters, not brilliant, excellent, great fighters. So Amir Khan has definitely been out of the ring for I mean, it's not good for his prime. It's not good for his pocket. It's not good for him, his reputation. All around, it's just not good for Amir. So I really do think that Amir's played his cards wrong. But I mean, he's only 29. He's only 29. He's got quite a number of years left, especially in today's day and age with the sort of nutrition that we have in today's era of boxing. But I mean, Amir Khan has had some wars in the ring. So I mean, when you're looking at boxing in terms of longevity, you do have to look at how much punishment has the fight taken. And Amir Khan has been in several fights where he's taken hard blows to the face and to the head. So his career is not going to be that much longer. I mean, we might only be looking at another 3 or 4 years for Amir. Who knows? He might decide to start, you know, hanging him up at 34. You know, that's not that's like 8 fights. You know, that's not really long time. You know, whereas fighters like Terence Crawford, Canelo, I mean, these guys are going to be around for years and years. You know, so speaking of which, Amir Khan, like, let's just get back to the topic. Amir Khan, what should he do now? He's in this position now. What should he do? Very difficult position, a very bad position that he's in. And I think that Amir needs to get a name somewhere. If it's not Pacquiao, I think he should stay out of the ring. I don't think it makes any sense. Unless he says outright, I'm going to fight in... If he gives us 2 upfront dates, or 3 or 4 upfront dates, I'm going to fight in December, and then I'm going to fight 3 times in 2016. You're going to see Amir Khan take over the 147-pound division, makes a statement like that. It says, I'm going to take up a fight in you know, this is the only fighter available at the moment, 2016, but I'm going to get back in the ring very soon thereafter, and I'm going to fight, you know, whoever's around. Then that's fine, I'll settle with that. But I mean, if he's going to take on a no-namer now, you know, I mean, it's December already, so I mean, we were looking at February anyway, so I mean, what can he do? I mean, we're going to have to wait until, you know, he's talking May. Like, that's ages away. That's ages away. I don't understand why would you start the ring for another January, February, March, April, May, 5 months, and then Ramadan's going to come up, I don't know, September, so he's going to be out then. I mean, why? I don't understand. I mean, this is an opportunity for Amir to set his date. An 8 to 9 week training camp, that sets you... I mean, he's already in training, but I mean, let's say 8 weeks starting from, let's say next week, right? I mean, you're looking at still, let's say there's like, let's say you start with 2 weeks left in December, then that's 2 weeks there, then another 4 in January. I mean, end of I mean, early March. Why May? Why wait another month? I don't understand. What I mean, why wait all of March, all of April, let that pass and then fight in May? I don't understand that. That's another 8 weeks right there. Why not fight in early March? Why not set yourself a date and a time scale of early March? Get back in the ring. Because eventually the cobwebs are going to catch up with me. I mean, Amir hasn't shown any ring rust yet, but they eventually, as time goes on, it will show. I mean, there is a fighter there. There is one fighter in my head, which I think they should make. That's Amir Khan versus Lamont Peterson. I think that's a brilliant fight, 147-pound fight. It's a big name. It's good enough. It's a rematch. It will sell. It's perfect. You can't critique it. Why not Lamont Peterson, 147 pounds, in March? Not May, March. Why not that? Just at the top of my head, that's a name I've just pulled out of the hat. All the rest seem to be taken. All the rest are either the top rank, busy, or not going to happen. Brook's not going to happen anytime soon. Although we will do a video on that. If Brook is happening in 2016, it will be a bit later on. But I mean, why not Lamont Peterson if you can't get Brook? That's a good fight. But it should happen in March. It shouldn't happen in May, because it's the thing with Amir Khan. It's his Ramadan thing. Now, in Ramadan, I mean, Amir Khan, he used to fight 3 times a year, and I don't know what happened. I mean, you can time it in a way where you don't get hindered by Ramadan. You know what I mean? You just work around it. Ramadan is just 1 month out of the year. I don't know if it falls on... I think it falls in September this time, but I'm not sure. I need to double check that. But I mean, it falls around about that time, and you can time it in a way where you plan these things out. I'm gonna fight 3 times this year, and in them 3 fights, I mean, if Amir Khan beats Lamont Peterson, goes on to face the winner of Danny Garcia versus Robert Guerrero, faces Danny Garcia in a rematch, beats him, sets up a massive Brook fight late 2016. I mean, if Amir Khan does that, I mean, is he not the king of 147 pounds, and then set up a kingpin 147 pound battle with, Keith Thurman or Sean Porter? The winner of them two will be, and winner of them two will be a massive fight for Amir Khan at that point. But you see, that's the route Amir Khan should take. I mean, the thing is that, like, when you're doing this, where you're choosing fighters who might not necessarily on paper give you a hard enough fight as you think, and you try to choose a good fight for yourself, and then you get your ass whooped like that. I mean, that's really bad, because I mean, Chris Algieri was not meant to be a good fight for Amir on paper, because Chris Algieri's got a lot of knockout ratio, but I mean, Chris Algieri brought it on the day, right? And Khan didn't get the credit that he should have got, because Chris Algieri is a decent fighter, but I mean, Chris Algieri brought it, so therefore that really hurt Amir, So I really think that Amir Khan needs to be a little bit more active. He's a brilliant fighter with brilliant talent, and he's an excellent boxer. I mean, who is there 147 pounds who you would not give Amir Khan a definite solid chance to? There are very few fighters that Amir Khan would go in. I mean, let's put Mayweather and Pacquiao aside. Mayweather's retired anyway. Pacquiao's having his last fight. Apart from them two, who can Amir Khan go in against where he won't be the favourite? He'll be the favourite against Keith Thurman. He'll be the favourite against Danny Garcia. He'll be the favourite against Porter. He'll be the favourite against maybe Brook might not be, but in most of these fights, Amir Khan is the favourite. He will be the favourite to win. He'll be the odds-on favourite. So Amir Khan ain't no crap fighter when people make him out. He's an excellent fighter. It's just they don't like him. But the truth of the matter is, you always pick him to win. I mean, if you look at the past few Amir Khan fights, the odds are always in his favour. I don't think I've ever seen Amir Khan in a fight where he's been an underdog. It's very, very rare where people actually... There's been closer odds, but I mean, when have you ever seen Amir Khan in a fight where he's really been an underdog and not, by boxing experts, been touted to win the fight? It's very rare. Like, usually Amir Khan's always the favourite to walk into a fight, and that's because of him being a good fighter, and people always think his boxing skill will pull him out of it and he will find a way to win. So let me leave your comment section below. Make sure you subscribe. What do you think about what I'm saying? It's a little bit, the dates are a little bit here and there, but you get my point. You can, I mean, I'm sure Amir Khan can find a way to fight 3 times a year. He needs to fight 3 times a year. He's not a pay-per-view fighter in America. He does get watched. He has got viewership. If you go on YouTube, he's a highly watched fighter. If you go on Twitter, followed by a lot of people. So he is watched and followed. And that's beneficial in the new PBC setup. It's going on viewership. So it's good. Amir Khan is watched. But I think he needs to fight he needs to do a year, and I think 2016 should be that year where he fights 3 times. If he waits till May, after May, June, July, August, September, I mean, what's he gonna do? He's gonna wait at least a month. That's boom, 1 month out, at least, and then that'll set him at. I mean, if it's like early May, then you're looking at he'll finish his fight, take a rest for at least a month to 2 months. That'll send us to the end of June. You'll be looking at early July before they start looking at another opponent. And then what's he gonna do? Do an 8 week training camp, July, August, get back in the ring, set Ramadan, like bang, you won't time it right, and it'll the excuse will come up that Ramadan's coming up, I can't fight. Like like we don't know that Ramadan's coming. The Ramadan is coming, so it doesn't make sense to me why Amir's fighting twice a year. He's not ducking. It's not. It's just it's beneficial for him to fight 3 times a year. That's what my point I make. He's not ducking anybody. It's not a knock on him. I'm just saying it's beneficial for him to fight 3 times a year because it keeps him active. Activity for a boxer is very important. It keeps you sharp, and it will make you money. It'll pocket money. It'll increase his star power. He needs to fight 3 times a year. I mean, this whole once a year stuff is just it's just if you aim for 3 times a year and you fight twice, okay, it's not the end of the world. But I mean, if you aim for twice and you fight once, that's just I don't understand. But comment section below, subscribe as always. What do you think Amir Khan should do next? Do you agree with what I'm saying about the whole waiting too long thing, only fighting once a year, the inactivity? Comment section below, subscribe as always. Let me know what you think, guys, in a bit.